Now, over the last decade, I feel like I've seen it all. Bitcoin booms, cryptocurrency, altcoin mania, and then we talk about the stock market booms and the craziness with certain things that happened over the last 5 to 6 years. And it does create a lot of panic, and people tend to sell everything or actually over risk, which becomes a very big problem. But every single time, there's one solid lesson from it: time. Time is key. And more often than not, you got to ride it out. So let's talk today about how to handle stock market crashes, even though what we've just seen is just a small scratch. Now, there's one thing I want to say here. If you can understand how the markets behave and why it's PvP in a way, you'll probably never look at investing the same way again, in terms of it will hopefully just click. By the way, if you're new, please do hit that subscribe button. My last video, 95% of people watched were non-subscribers. So help me out, please. Now on the screen here, this is my dividend portfolio. Left hand side, you can see my overall portfolio, not too bad. The reason being, the UK market wasn't really hit much. But going on to here, it really goes red, right? For obvious reasons. Now, the euphoria before every crash is the most important point of this entire thing. Let's talk about it in obvious sense, because crashes don't start with fear, they start with euphoria. This market was turbo. Gold was flying. You can see some of the drops here. And this was due to a truth post, from Donald Trump stating about 100% tariff on China, created an emotional reaction. And every single bullish market, people feel invincible. Meme stocks, altcoins, tech bubbles, gold running, for example, right? Now, most of my content and most of my experience in the financial markets comes from the altcoin market, cryptocurrencies that are not Bitcoin. They flash crash 90%, 80%, 70% in a matter of hours. I'll show you. This is a one called Polkadot. It really just nosedived. And this is not just in isolation. Litecoin was $136 and it went all the way down to here. This was due to over leverage. No euphoria here, just a knick-knack in the door. Sometimes things break. Sometimes if you buy the wrong stock, they break. Or an altcoin in this instance, right? You'll be very, very mindful of that. And there was euphoria around the entire financial system, which has created a bit of a problem. And I've been, as I say, an investor in crypto for over 10 years now, nearly. Crazy. Now, going back to this, you always hear it, this time is different, there's never going to be a bear market and all that kind of malarkey. The signs are always there: overconfidence, leverage, and no one's thinking there's risk anymore. And then all of a sudden, bang, your rug's gone and your pants are falling down at the same time. So when everyone's bragging, it's when it's time to reduce risk. And it is quite true. The emotional roller coaster. Let's talk about some very obvious things. And crashes test your mindset more than your money. They do, because you then second guess everything. And I want to go through something obvious. Your personal emotion will be in 4 or maybe 3 things really. You have fear, you have regret, you think you've bought too early or maybe sold too late. Certainly things have ran. But then you can talk about how you should handle them. And we're going to talk about risk management and opportunity in a minute. But realistically, your portfolio should be set up in a way that you do not get yourself blown up. Simple as that. If you are in any market, not financial advice, of course, but I do need to put a disclaimer because it is at the top of the screen when I go into the screen share, is your capital is at risk. You need to have a plan. You need to have an emergency fund. You need to understand if you're playing with leverage, you're going to get burned, because there's 4 main things of how a market cycle moves. You got optimism, obviously. You got euphoria. Oh my God, it's never going to stop. You got panic. Oh, we're pulling back. And then you've got the obvious recovery. The thing is, I've already got people messaging me, emailing me on TikTok, on Instagram, going, this market's mental. I cannot believe some of the stocks that you've recommended or the funds that you've recommended. I'm already up X amount % per week or whatever ridiculous numbers it was. The pain is temporary, but at the end of the day, the long-term success is this market needs time, obviously, because it won't be as good as this forever. It will have its horrible weeks and months and even a year. We've had periods of lost decades. You've got to handle that emotional roller coaster. And ultimately, as well, you've got to be set up so your portfolio can, hopefully, fingers crossed, survive the worst case scenario. Now, going back to the screen, risk management is everything. This is just a cryptocurrency asset, right? It's crazy. But again, we can go and have a quick look. Let me just find it. Let's look at the FTSE 100. It's on a bit of a roll, right? But look at what happened during the tariff situation. That really nosedived, and messages from friends, family talking about their pensions. Go, oh my God. The smartest investors don't predict, they prepare. Simple as that. We cannot predict this market, but you're always thinking about your positional sizes, when you're going to diversify, when are you going to dollar cost average in, when are you not going to do it, for example, as well. There's all kinds of situations because you may just go, I'm stopping. Just stop and let it coast for a bit, because sometimes you're just dollar cost average up. Risk management is everything. You've got to keep your own capital. And, never fully out, but never fully in, realistically, is kind of a good metric. You could talk about dollar cost averaging through fear, which is the best way to do it. When there's blood on the streets, it's time to buy. You've probably heard that phrase. And always keep a percentage in bonds or even in cash and just sit and chilling, because they will always be opportunities around the corner. The US market will always present some sort of opportunities in whatever, continent you're in. That's kind of why it's a very, very big and important metric. And we could talk about the dollar. Will the dollar recover from this point, and will that create a bit of a bearish situation? Why is gold running? Why is it continued to run, right? You got to understand the metrics around that, and why is the yield, for example, dropping all of a sudden? There's certain situations, but look at the tech stocks, right? Now, this is what happened. We had a very big crumble, and people panicked a lot. Maybe totally fine today, maybe totally fine tomorrow or next week or the week after. But at the end of the day, there would have been people wiped out on this. 100%. It's happened. Now, I want to talk about something. My reactions today are nothing like they were 10 years ago, because when I was brand new in the markets and I was like putting it into the S&P and going into Nutmeg and the robo investing and stuff, I panicked on a lot of situations because I have no idea. Time gives you experience. And every now and again, you'll start looking at crashes and you'll be like, this is an opportunity to buy. Obviously, depending on what stock you're buying, though. If you're buying a stock that is literally nosediving because it's rubbish, maybe don't do that and do your research and recheck what you're doing. But if you're buying, say, the all world fund, yeah, you'll have bearish periods. Same with the S&P, same as the Nasdaq. There will be periods of good, periods of bad. If you can get the best possible entries at the lowest possible cost ratio or whatever, you'll be absolutely fine in the long term. You've got to also remember, if you've got a stocks and shares ISA, you're not getting taxed on it, but also you can't, offset your losses if you panic and sell on the red days, for example. So you got to be aware of that. And for obvious reasons, for me, I've probably been conditioned in the gulag in a way with the fact that I was in the cryptocurrency market and still am. The stability there versus the volatility over here, for example, is chalk and cheese. Crypto is built out of sand in terms of altcoins, and this is built out of bricks. Realistically, it's very, very different. Both very emotional, but manageable with time, and especially a time horizon with experience. But yeah, for me, I look at my own cryptocurrency portfolio in the past and I've seen it drop, I've seen it rise ridiculous amount, and I've made lots of money. It's very loud, it's very dramatic. But overall, when you look at my ISA and it's dropped a couple of percentages, so some people, that might be the end of the world if you are only in this market and have got a lot of money in this market. It's the same psychology at play. Yeah, you can't control the markets, you can't predict the markets, but what you can do is control your own exposure. The less exposure and less risk you've got, where you're obviously comfortable, the easier it is to manage. Well, the bigger picture is that, yes, every single crash realistically feels like the end of the world until the next one. There's always a potential recovery. There's always a potential, emotion that will kick you a little bit. But you got to reflect on the fact that crashes will always recover at some point, and maybe, hopefully, in the not too distant future, create brand new highs. Look at gold, for example. Doesn't even look like it's budged. It's crazy. And there's a lot of people doing content in this market. And I'm relatively new as a content creator, but I've been an investor for a long, long time. Don't get caught out by newer people. Always do your research of who you follow. If you are following a lot of people that offer a lot of like emotional kind of jargon and you panic because of their content, maybe don't watch it. If you like them, fair enough. But if you don't want to get kind of caught out, don't watch them if they make you emotional, for example, right? Because the bigger picture is, it's you, right? It's all down to you. Everyone's different, right? We could talk about an investor. People like to make risks. Some people don't. Different things. You may want to jump out of a plane. The next person next to you may not want to jump out of a plane, for example, right? Everyone has a personal mindset, and it'll always come out when it comes to money. Now, in 10 years, one thing that I have realised, and it's quite an obvious one, market crashes aren't just interruptions. It's just a part of the process. You've just got to get on with it. And if you can stay calm whilst everyone else is panicking, you'll come out stronger every single time. That's what 10 years has taught me, pretty much. If you're not yet done so, please do subscribe and obviously watch this playlist. I'll be back in a week. I'm away in Spain to chill out for a bit. That's one way to get rid of a crash if we get a further one.